Okay, hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time visiting my channel, my name's Felix. I'm a YouTube content creator from Indonesia. Guys, 3 weeks, I haven't uploaded anything because I am focusing my time on my thesis. So even tomorrow or 2 days forward, I don't know will I have the time to barely catching up or barely uploading more content. But please bear with me for this time. I think until mid-July or something because I need to focus on my thesis because I'm proceeding towards the end of my university. So today I had the little free time that I can get to really upload the things I need. So I'm gonna catch up to at least two of ARJ is series direction, where this time I will watch Ultra Vegito betrays Jiren and traps him in the time chamber and the continuation of that. So without further ado, let's just jump into the video reaction. Let's go, let's drag and let's react. Okay, let's go. 3, 2, 1, go.
So last time on Dragon Ball
Okay.
Super, Ultra Vegito had battled Jiren to a definitive conclusion.
Yeah, this is still one of the best episodes so far because I thought he will absorb Jiren, but he showcases the true story that it's different from Margarita, and therefore Jiren checking things out with the time rings, and then he checks not to check the Universe 7, but he checked Jiren's past, and he know that Belmod is the one behind it, and he
Finally
killed
explaining
Belmod.
his motives for killing the gods, even going as far as providing Jiren a time ring to verify his story, only for Jiren to return and inexplicably erase Belmod right before Vegito's eyes. And now in today's manga, Vegito must decide what his recourse will be. But before we begin, join the now over the next and stone-faced, staring forward after his shock murder of his own former friend and god, Belmod. While in the background, Ultra Vegito still remains in utter disbelief.
Even Vegito is the one who killed the god. Is shocked.
What have you done? What the hell is wrong with you? I'm guessing you saw what he did to my planet, but damn it! Belmod was my kill! Could have at least given me a heads up. Huh? Wait a second. But as Ultra Vegito scolds Jiren, suddenly he is forced to turn his head in panic as an ominous power level begins to rise out of nowhere. And in the distance, thunder and lightning begins to spark through the air as a tall and large silhouette stands at the very epicenter. But who could it be? Jiren, you damn traitor! You will face justice for your actions!
Belmod.
As shockingly, it is revealed to be Toppo, now in his full-powered hakaishin form. And after 4 years of training in the Pyramid of Power, even the planet itself begins to quake in fear from his strength. As he stands confidently with his fists clenched, Toppo comments one final time, "Son Goku, you have poisoned even the mind of my greatest friend. But nothing will excuse the crime of murdering our former god and pride trooper Belmod. New god of destruction or not, Jiren, as weakened as you are, your death will now be by my hand." Jiren! As so suddenly, like a cannonball, hakaishin Toppo rushes in at Jiren with all his might, his conviction secured at what he must do for the sake of Universe 11, even if against his old friend.
But you don't know the main reason why Jiren does
As
this.
Toppo reaches within touching distance, curiously, and seemingly still deep in thought, Jiren just remains still, almost as if he too realizes he must face justice for what he has just done. Jiren, move! But suddenly, an alarmed Ultra Vegito, watching all of this drama play out, is quick to get into action and jumps into a fighting stance as he thinks, I forgot about that damn beast man! This is bad. Jiren is still pretty banged up after what I did to him. Gonna need to step in. But instantaneously, before Vegito can even move an inch further, a massive explosion is seen at, curiously, exactly the spot where Toppo and Jiren were.
So there's Margarita.
And as the dust settles, it is shockingly revealed to be from the impact of Jiren's giant apparition, which somehow has returned to the battlefield in an instant, even with Jiren's current state.
So he is
and
crushing
at the base
Toppo.
of the giant fist that is cemented into the ground is a cracked surface where someone has been completely flattened.
Toppo.
And as the humongous hand then slowly moves away, crumbling rocks from its knuckles as it moves,
Toppo.
Toppo, Pride Trooper of Universe 11,
He is going
is
bye-bye
shown
with
to be the
one
victor.
shot.
Imprinted onto the planet's surface, damaged to heck, with not even both his eyes being functional, as he mutters,
Toppo is like going bye-bye.
Run! I can't move! Why? What? Which Ultra Vegito, having watched this all go down, is left near speechless, as he thinks to himself, no way! Jiren still had that much energy in the tank! Then why did he give up so easily? Was he holding back again?
Was he holding back against me? Like he has still that much, he has that much energy back to showcase his giant apparition and everything, but he gives up against Ultra Vegito. I think it's not that he wants to give up. He kind of believed Goku, so he wants to see the full story. I think that's it.
It's me. But Jiren, who couldn't care about neither Vegito's shock nor the pancake Toppo before him, turns back to where the erased remains of Belmod reside and looks down dejected, before uttering out, sorry, Son Goku, but I had to do this. Belmod could only die by my hand after what I witnessed, not only for my sake, but for the sake of my people too. Your people? Hearing this though, the oblivious Vegito, who did not hear anything that was exchanged between Belmod and Jiren earlier, queries on, what do you mean what you witnessed? I don't follow, Jiren. You consider the Earthlings your people? I had no idea you felt so strongly about us, you lovable lug. Or is this just some lame reflection of your own brand of justice? Jiren, though, initially remaining quiet, then finally turns his head to look at the Saiyan and reveal the truth, as he says, no, that is not what I meant, Son Goku. I did intend to go see what happened in your past. Indeed, I wasn't shown any of what you showed me when the angel entered my mind. But as I thought of your story, as you say, it did remind me of a certain incident in my own past.
So he goes to that past to see what really has happened.
So, in the end, I opted to travel over 3 decades back to when I was still a child. Back when I had my master and friends in my humble village known as Dora. It was the exact moment they were all slaughtered before my eyes by a beast I never truly uncovered until just now. The monster
who killed my master, Belmod.
My friends, my family, was Lord Belmod himself. The same man who found me orphaned and gave me purpose in the Pride Troopers. was the same man
Who
who
orchestrated.
orchestrated my entire life until this point.
So this same thing happening.
Leaving
What
Vegito now
Vegito?
looking on seriously at Jiren with his arms folded and back hunched as he angrily continues. I should have known. That creepy clown was always bad news. This is exactly why the reign of those so-called gods needs to end, Jiren.
From the Supreme Kai, that's why Vegito told Jiren this is his main goal, to annihilate all the gods.
The Supreme Kais to the gods of destruction, this messed up system needs to end. No creature, divine or otherwise, should be deciding who lives and dies at their whim, and without explanation or anyone to answer to. You would have never even found out what happened if it wasn't for these rings. An item that is gate-kept by the very gods we need these things to find the truth about. Jiren, hearing this and now done wallowing in the sadness of his actions, then begins to take off the time ring Vegito had given him as promised, saying as he does so, Son Goku, I understand why you are doing this now.
Why Vegito
What
is doing.
motivates you and drives you to do the things that no mortal ever would. But this idea to remove all gods, Supreme Kais included, regardless of whether they were involved or not. How are you so sure that is the correct path all universes should follow?
Jiren is not agreeing to the whole concept, except
there should be some exceptions. But without even a moment's hesitation, with a steadfast conviction, Ultra Vegeta responds, Jiren, listen to me. When I was imprisoned by those gods, for 10 years I suffered. Suffered for something I never even wanted to be involved with in the first place. A battle with a god of destruction who I was powerless to deny. Threatened with destruction if I didn't participate in his game. It reminded me so much of when Beerus first came to Earth. Even then, he threatened the erasure of my home planet unless I could show him a Super Saiyan god. It was only by luck we could produce something for him. But just how many other planets are there that didn't get the same luxury? The role of a destroyer is to erase planets, like they were particles of dust needing to be hoovered up. That kind of devaluing of life, Jiren, of mortals, can no longer exist as long as I'm alive. And hearing this surprisingly poignant and deep explanation, Jiren can't help but succumb.
That is a solid argument. I mean, like, there's not an exception, because like it's not only Belmod that those things that did the things to you, but it's about the system, Jiren. Yeah, that's logical. Man, Vegeta
as he
has
begins
the
to
logic.
emphasize
I mean,
greatly
Vegeta is
with
taking the
Vegito's
lead on
cause.
this.
Saying
It's
back,
not Goku who can think that small.
I see. Though I can't just yet decide.
It can be the same, like what Belmod did to Jiren can happen to the whole universe. So that's why all the Supreme Kais and God Destruction need to be erased by
whether
Vegeta.
you are on the right side of justice. There's nothing I could say that will sway your decision anyway. And neither can I tell you are wrong about what you say. But I do have one question for you, Son Goku. Throwing his removed earring at Ultra Vegito, which is swiftly caught with ease. Before staring Vegito right in his eyes and continuing, if I had remained against you as the new god of destruction for this universe, would you really have destroyed me just as you had the others? And for a moment, Ultra Vegito just watches Jiren in silence, giving nothing away with his poker face
What
expression.
is his answer?
All the while, slowly placing the time ring back on his hand, as if it had finally returned to its rightful home.
What is his answer?
Until suddenly, in an unexpected turn of events,
he's gone.
Ultra Vegeta vanishes without a trace, leaving a confused Jiren to yell out, "Son Goku, where did his energy
Oh,
go?"
okay. He's punching Jiren?
What are you doing?
He's hakaing Jiren?
As Jiren then notices something out the corner of his eye, right behind him.
He's hakaing Jiren.
Something clearly so shocking, it even has the normally stone-cold Jiren alarm.
He's
As we
hakaing Jiren.
zoom out, we eventually see is none other than Ultra Vegito
Okay.
once again on the battlefield, but now firmly placing two fingers on the back of Jiren's head, as if emulating a gun and ready to blast
He's
the
going to
new god of
blast-
destruction's brains
He's
out.
going to blast Jiren.
Meanwhile, Jiren, who almost instinctively begins to hold his hands up in fear and surrender, can't tell himself what the God Killer's intentions
Oh,
are.
because he's
Before
indeed a
Vegeta
god of
lets out
destruction,
coldly,
right?
"Of course I would have, Lord Jiren."
Oh, it's because he already become a
And
god
with
of
his fingers
destruction.
still pointed firmly at the former Pride Trooper, Vegeta then sternly demands, "Now that you have your answer, I need you to do something for me in return, Jiren. And I'm sure, after what you just
Calm
found
down.
out, you'll have no problem doing
Ooh,
this.
helping Vegeta.
Summon
he
your angel attendant,
Margarita.
Margarita, at once."
He wants to kill Margarita.
And on hearing this, Jiren's fear instantly subsides as he closes his eyes and begins to give the God Killer's request some thought, thinking, "The angel,
Okay,
I
Margarita.
know what will happen if I summon her. Belmod deserved his death,
Okay,
but does she too?
of course, she
Yes,
tricks.
she does."
She tricks you,
And
Jiren.
with a cold expression, Jiren suddenly
She
makes his
tricks
mind up
you.
and snaps
And
his finger.
the story of Ultra
And
Vegeta.
just like that, behind both Jiren and Ultra
Margarita
Vegito,
suddenly appeared.
Margarita appears on command, just as an attendant should, with Vegito commenting, "Huh, well hello, female whis. Hope we didn't disturb your little holiday, but the men would like to talk to you now."
Ooh.
Huh? Jiren? Leaving Margarita in a state of disbelief as the first sight she sees on her sudden arrival is shockingly her own god of destruction who was meant to annihilate Vegito, now on the end of what would
Ultra
seem
Vegeta.
a fatal blast. Margarita now
No
panicking
shot.
would then yell out, "What's going on, Jiren? Why did you bring me here? I thought you would handle this yourself." As Vegito, now pleased with her panicking, explains with a sinister
He
smile,
explains.
"Well, would you look at that? A summoned angel questioning
What
why
a
her
god
god
summoned
summoned
her.
her. My. You would never see Whis
Yeah.
asking
Whis
beerus.
never asking beerus when beerus summon Whis, huh?
What a pathetic excuse for an angel you are. But now that Jiren has been defeated, guess he doesn't really need an angel anymore, does he, Marco?
Oh. He is very
As
god.
she hears the Saiyan's last line though, a stroke of fear comes across her face,
He is
and she
freaking
mumbles
shocked.
back, "Jiren, you were beaten? So that means..."
He
And
is
immediately, with a
terrified.
shrieking scream, rather than battle Vegito head-on fruitlessly, the Angel of Universe 11 makes a run for it,
Man,
knowing
run?
all too well the horrific powers
Really?
of Ultra Vegito.
Oh my god, he is
But almost
huge, man.
instantly,
Okay,
as if
absorb.
expecting it
Cell.
himself, from Vegito's left arm,
Cells is-
splattering the Namekian goo as it flies out,
Cells is-
Vegito unleashes his Cell Tail.
Cell tail, and he appeared Margarita.
Immediately wrapping around the
think you can
angel's
just
neck
run away from
perfectly
Ultra
and as
Vegeta?
tight as an anaconda,
are you thinking?
slowly
And you-
squeezing the very air and life force out of Margarita until finally The tail, which moves as if it has a mind of its own, then brings its pointed needle end right in front of Margarita's face, which instantly causes her to plead pitifully one more time.
Oh my god.
No,
An angel is like that.
no, Vegito, please, I don't deserve this.
Don't deserve
it was
what?
all Belmod.
Don't
it was.
deserve what?
Just like that, the tail makes its move,
To the
and in
eye?
a gruesome
Or
scene,
what?
it strikes face first, but
Oh.
seemingly from the angle, it doesn't appear to have struck quite in the middle.
The eye.
What have you done to
The eye of
me?
Margarita.
As horrifically,
Oh,
we are
my arch is just so gory. We wouldn't ever see this scene in an anime now. We only can see this during the Dragon Ball Z scene, which happened in the 90s, where now every production of film must contain a clean scene for children. I will not expect Arch's series can be produced into animation with the rules as it is now. With this gore scene, it will be definitely cut because it's not child friendly.
to the sight of Margarita's left eye exploding in her face
Oh
as
my
the tail
God.
punches it without mercy, leading to an ocean of blood
Oh my
spurting
god,
forward as
eyes,
she
my
screams.
brain.
But perhaps in a show of mercy or just extreme power, Margarita's life force and organic matter
Is
is almost
absorbed.
instantly absorbed into Vegeta, leaving only now a lifeless, wrinkled shell. Which Vegeta without care then tosses into the wind like a loose bin bag, flying in the air like a kite until Vegito yells,
Okay.
Hakai! Screaming with
Yeah, so
enough
Margarita.
intensity as if he was doing this for Belmod too, simultaneously snapping back his tail into his android arm as he does so. And as expected, the angel Margarita then erases right before the eyes of Vegeta, turning to dust before disappearing completely from the universe forevermore, as Jiren prefers to not even dignify her with one final look.
Jiren don't
But
even
with the
care.
angel now taken care of, God of Destruction Jiren then turns his attention back to Vegeta, realizing now that the angel's energy has been absorbed, now only the God of Destructions
Oh,
remains.
only
As
Jiren
he
remains.
says, so, what now?
So
Margarita has been absorbed by that
Disgusting.
disgusting machination of you.
disgusting.
And from both your visions, it seems you don't stop at just
Yeah,
absorbing
it will
the
absorb
angel's
the
power,
god destruction.
but the energy of the destroyer too.
So it'll absorb Jiren.
Given I've already erased Belmod, I'm guessing you're not quite satisfied.
So he will be absorbing
Am
Jiren.
I your next victim, Son Goku? But in response, Vegito just remains quiet, instead opting to move his hand slowly away from the back of Jiren's head before walking past the surprised
don't
god
care?
without fear,
I think it's
and with
because
an
Jiren is
unreadable
friend.
smile on his face as Jiren questions after him, Son Goku, where are you going? Belmod is no more. But as we zoom out,
Ooh.
as the thunder from Toppo's power-up still rages on, it is revealed Ultra Vegito is actually walking towards the former candidate,
He wants to absorb Toppo's
still
energy.
paralyzed on the ground
He wants to
from
absorb
Jiren's
Toppo's
earlier
energy.
attack. And as he finally reaches Toppo, Vegito still smirking, then lets out, Yes, Jiren. Well, that would be the case normally.
That will be the case normally.
But lucky for you, you aren't the only one left here.
Oh, you're the only one. That is also an excuse for Vegeta because he wouldn't dare. He couldn't dare to kill his own friend. So he'd rather make an excuse where he will absorb Toppo's get destruction energy. So he don't need Jiren's energy, but he will absorb Toppo's energy in replace of Jiren. And that's also make an excuse where he don't need to kill his friend.
With destruction
He
energy.
will absorb Toppo.
In fact, I have a feeling Beastman
Oh,
over here
yeah.
may have had even more.
Oh, he's more than what Jiren has. Because he has just been stumbled one time while Jiren has been spending his energy thoughts fighting Ultra Vegeta.
More in him than you did. As soon, Toppo, who had lost consciousness, regains it on sensing Vegito's movement. He barely opens one eye, looking to the direction of the sound he hears until...
He don't like it. He was
God
killer.
You will pay!
What you will pay, you will only
Reacting
die.
in anger and fury still, despite his now powerless state.
How can you will pay, Toppo?
But Ultra Vegito, who in typical fashion has a sadistic smile watching Toppo writhe in pain, then responds. Relax, beast man. This will only take a second. Besides, what good is destruction power to someone who couldn't even make it to the title of Destroyer? Weren't you a candidate in line before Jiren? What a disgrace.
Oh, he crushed Toppo.
As immediately following this, Vegito swiftly smacks his palm onto Toppo's face and slams it into the ground as Toppo struggles in pain. Until finally, just as fast as Margarita's energy was sapped away, so too is the energy of Toppo, as he now remains on the ground, near lifeless, but still alive. Vegito, now having gotten everything he needed from this universe, then stands back up, while Toppo remains mute on the ground beneath him, before turning to Jiren and saying, Jiren, listen carefully now, because I'll only say this once. You remain in this universe as its god of destruction. And though I know you well enough now to trust you won't make the same mistakes as your predecessors, you can't stay here anymore. This sudden statement, though, takes Jiren by surprise, as he looks at Vegito wide-eyed and queries further, what are you saying? What do you mean I can't stay anymore?
He wants to crush the planet.
This is where I belong. Or is this some way of telling me you must erase me regardless? But Vegito, who's far from a joking mood, looks on sternly and continues. Because, Jiren, you too are a god killer now.
Oh yeah. You can't stay here anymore because you're not a god of destruction, but you're a god killer because you kill Belmod.
And Zeno and the Grand Priest, for that matter, will not take that standing down. You know that as well as I. Eventually, they will come
to crush
for both me and you. I'm ready, but I'm not sure you are.
Vegito is ready because he's absorbed everything and he utilizes his strategy, but for Jiren,
you need to keep training. I sense within you a great power, a potential that could even surpass mine. And one day, when I finally face those two scumbags in the final battle,
he needs Jiren for
I'll
help.
need you.
Right, he needs you, friend. He needs Jiren because he knows that his power isn't enough to face Zeno and the Grand Priest.
Friend,
right?
You have one of those god summoning buttons, don't you? Hand me yours. Describing, of course, the same unique button Zeno once gave Goku and the god of destruction Sidra had given Bergamo. Jiren, hearing this, then smiles, pleasantly pleased with his old friend's request, as he begins rummaging in his back pocket for said button while saying, fighting alongside Son Goku.
He is enjoying
a god pairing with the renowned god killer.
He is loving it.
Not exactly what I was expecting
from today's. This is complete 100 degrees change.
stranger things have happened. And so with a smile, this time more genuine than the one he gave Belmod, Jiren walks over to Ultra Vegito saying, I hope, warrior, I do become of use to you in the way you say. I stand with you, Vegito.
Oh.
Before then handing over the button to Vegito in almost like a handshake
Handshake, yeah.
as Vegito smiles back at his friend and replies,
Handshake, man. They're just sort of friend, man.
I already know you won't let me down. Train up good. Now that you're a god of destruction, you should have access to the pyramid of power, shouldn't you? An angel known as Beerus once showed me. Summon it and spend your days there until you have reached my level.
Okay.
The longest I could withstand is 10 days. But I'll try my hardest for your sake.
Man, they're like aligned with the best
See you
aligned,
soon.
man.
As Jiren then nonchalantly snaps his fingers, and immediately before Vegito and Jiren, the Pyramid of Power erects itself in all its understated glory. Jiren, knowing his mission and having said everything he would ever need to, then walks into the pyramid with just his hand waving goodbye one last time. Before the doors of the training facility shut behind him hard,
like
not to be opened again until at least 10 days later,
Jiren,
or so Jiren thought. Vegito, now all alone outside the pyramid, has some time to reflect on everything that just went on during his trip to Universe 11. He may not have had the pleasure of killing the god of destruction, but somehow supposedly gained the future aid of another. A slight darkness then looms over the Saiyan's face as he looks at the ground in great contemplation, still not uttering a word, as if figuring out what his next possible move is, or just battling with some inner morals that will come into play sooner than we think. Vegito stares at the door intensely for a moment. To us viewers though, it's not clear why. But instantly, without a hint of warning, Ultra Vegito
is crushing the Pyramid of Power.
Blasts out a powerful ki beam, and just like that, it hits directly on the peaceful, unsuspecting.
He crushed the Pyramid of Power because he don't dare to kill Jiren, but he forces Jiren to get inside, and he kills his friend from the outside.
Pyramid right on the same doors Vegito stared at, leading to a massive explosion, and unfortunately leaving behind a pile of broken and scorched rubble. And as the dust settles and sways across Ultra Vegito's face, a sinister grin now appears, as Vegito lets out, Sorry Jiren, but if I'm ridding every universe of their god of destruction, then this one.
Oh, this one will be no exception. So he don't care whether Jiren is a friend or what, he wants to crush Jiren.
Will be no exception. Train hard, warrior. Jiren, of course, inside, who was already in the middle of training.
Oh. Wait, what? But he's already inside, but the door is crushed. So he wants to battle Jiren in full power state or what? So he forces the Pyramid of Power to close so Jiren cannot get out or what? So what is this game?
Train hard, warrior.
Okay, Jiren inside.
Jiren, of course, inside, who was already in the middle of training, suddenly too then notices the massive explosion of the pyramid entrance. The blast being so powerful, it is even visible within the alternate dimension. And yet again, left behind is nothing but rubble and smoke, as the only door out becomes lost forever.
So now he can get out.
What? Son Goku! What have you done?
He cannot get out.
As a truly shell-shocked and disbelieving Jiren stands terrified, hoping this is just a dream.
He can get out.
As he now, betrayed by the God Killer, must exist in this dimension for seemingly the rest of eternity.
Because he can get out.
But that was...
Wait, okay, I am not finished with that. Let's just go to the next video. Ultra Vegeta learns the truth about Jiren and Belmod. Let's just go.
So last time on Dragon Ball Super Ultra, in the form Universe 11 show by Tokyo Japanese with your continues with Ultra Vegito having just blown up the Pyramid of Power.
Okay.
With Jiren
Jiren
still inside,
he is
trapping him for seemingly eternity. While Jiren, with his
Jiren
hands
like
grabbing
shocked.
his skull intensely, panics in confusion and anger, yelling, "Son Goku, you treacherous animal! How? Why would you do this to me? I was on your side. I told you I would help. Why? Why not just kill me? Why trap me to a fate worse than death, Son Goku?" While Ultra Vegito, still outside, then begins to stare into the center of his palm, as if he too cannot believe what evils his own hand was capable of, until finally letting out, "Sorry, Jiren, but in order for you to be of use to me in the final battle, I'm going to need you to become stronger than your wildest dreams. I know you have the potential, but 10 days is far
Yeah,
from
10 days is far from your true limits, warrior. That's why he crushed the
your
door.
true limits, warrior. What I have done will confuse you for some time, but I know firsthand, only with anger and
Yeah, anger and
vengeance in one's heart can one truly become powerful. Use your hatred of me to get yourself to the next level, just as I have used my hatred
of gods to gain to
of
the
the
next
gods
level.
to skyrocket myself to where I am now. You'll be safe inside there from even the eyes of Zeno and the Grand Priest for now, but not forever. So I'll see you soon, my friend.
Oh,
Revealing to us finally
So he-
the true
so
intention
he is
behind
still
trapping
good.
Jiren
I thought
inside.
he betrayed Jiren or something.
As finally, in the palm of Vegito's hand, it is also revealed the summoning button that Jiren had given Vegito last chapter. A button that will allow Vegito to call upon Jiren when the time is right.
Oh, that's why he called. That's why he trained and he take the button to call Jiren up to fight in the final battle.
And in the inevitable final battle. With his job done in Universe 11, Vegito then flicks his fingers and instantly mobilizes his angel staff, as he simultaneously thinks introspectively, "Belmod, that crafty clown. How interesting that he was the one behind murdering Jiren's family. But why? Tch, not like I can ask
So he
him
will
now.
go back to the peasant check.
Damn, Jiren was just a little too trigger happy with that hakai. Must have picked that up from me."
Yeah.
But not done yet with his contemplation, Vegito then looks up into the sky and continues. "But I can't help but think there's something more to this story."
Okay.
His last words were, "Not all is how it may seem." And to be honest, though I've taken Toppo's destruction energy, it hardly compares to that of a fully fledged destroyer. I want Belmod's energy, and I guess there's only one way
So he will get it to the past and he will absorb
to get it
Belmod's
now.
energy.
And with that being said, Ultra Vegito then places his hand out to his right side and instantly opens up yet another portal,
To the
letting out,
past of Toppo.
"If the Belmod of this timeline is gone, I'll just find another in a different
Oh my god, so he will ruin
Besides,
the universe
I
this
need my
timeline.
questions answered." And just like that, Ultra Vegito then slowly enters the portal and finally leaves. Eventually, Vegito leaves the portal. Universe and lands on the ground with a
Wait,
quiet
why is the voice like
tap.
this?
On the other side, eventually Vegito leaves the portal, always on guard, immediately begins observing his surroundings as he notices. Where am I exactly? There doesn't seem to be anything around here but barren soil.
Okay.
Did I arrive too late, perhaps? But as Vegito then brings himself to walk further along, he eventually reaches the edge of a nearby cliff face.
Oh.
Now we're talking.
So there's
Would you look at that?
There's Belmod.
This is where Jiren the Grey was born, huh? As over the cliff face, Vegito and ourselves are treated to a view of a primitive village on the ground, hidden amongst the mounds of dirt and few and far between vegetation. As Vegito continues, so I am on time. The village is intact, and so are its inhabitants. Now where is that damn cloud? Meanwhile, down in the village, we see a number of adult warriors, each practicing and sparring with another, honing their skills, just as Jiren had described of his village and family back in the Tournament of Power.
Yeah, that's Jiren.
But speaking of Jiren, we eventually do see our first sight of the little fighter, as he extends punches with vigor under the watchful eye of his master, Gichin. Standing tall with his Namekian-like green skin, he raises his arm and shouts enthusiastically to Jiren. That's the way, young Jiren. Faster and faster. But do not forget to keep your guard up. As the prepubescent youngster looks back with a smile of admiration and responds,
is still cool and
yes, master.
Got it. And just good and just like
Vegito in the meantime watches on with a visible smile and his arms folded, taking in great pleasure at the sight of such a joyful Jiren, commenting, oh, look how skinny Jiren used to be. Hard to believe that runt turned into the powerhouse I know now. And I guess that green man is his so-called master, and he can't stop yapping about. I wonder how strong he is.
There's Belmod.
But suddenly, before Vegito can enjoy any more of the scenes down below, Vegito senses the presence of an ominous evil energy and killing intent. Eventually, Vegito then tries to spot where it even is coming from, fearing the worst with who it could be. What the hell is it? All I see is damn mountains! There you are!
There's Belmod.
But eventually up in the sky, Vegito finds out exactly where the strange presence originates. And in the air is of course none other than Lord Belmod, God of Universe 11, cloaked up and hooded as if to hide his identity. Giggling in the air as he says, so finally, the time has come, young man. Hopefully, you will thank me for this when you're older.
He will crush the village to make Jiren strong.
But the ritual of the divine starts here. Universe 11 will finally have its next god of destruction to bring our mortal level to the very top.
Oh, it's because of Zeno. It's because of Zeno's mortal level is below. The rule of Zeno to make the mortal level rising. So he crushed Jiren's family to make Jiren strong and to increase the mortal level, I think.
Remember this day well, young Jiren. As Vegito, realizing who the figure is, then grunts out, just on time, aren't you, clown? Ritual? What is this makeup caked freak even saying? Time to get some much needed answers. As Belmod looks down menacingly and yells out one final time, say your last words, Jiren. Godhood awaits you!
Godhood awaits who?
You'll be saying goodbye
Godhood
to
to who, Mr. Clown?
nobody, clown.
There's a village. Protector right here, Vegeta.
But just as Belmod
He's
readied
shocked.
himself to slaughter Jiren's village,
He's
as he was supposed to in the original timeline, a rugged voice calls out from
He
behind
is
him.
shocked to see a man dare to face him.
Who could? And as the panicked god turns his head, 3 familiar fingers with even more familiar rings are already seen perched on his shoulder perfectly. Who the devil are you? As shockingly, perhaps not to us though,
God,
Ultra
Vegeta.
Vegeta then
Oh, he
appears
uses
right
instant
behind
transmission.
Belmod, with curiously 2 fingers already on his forehead, readying an instant transmission as he lets out. Let's move a little away from here.
He will transport Belmod to other places other than Jiren's village.
Shall we, destroyer? I think you're one clown I don't trust to have around.
Yeah, he don't believe he will talk in peace with Belmod, so he instant transmission to other places
Kid,
to make Jiren safe.
where have you taken me? As Vegeta then moves a short distance away from the village to the surprise of a furry creature watching on from behind.
Tuppo? Young Tuppo, what? Oh yeah, young Tuppo.
As we are then treated to an image of a young Toppo reacting in pure fear to the sudden arrival of Ultra Vegito and Belmod. 2 figures he had not yet met at this point, but because Ultra Vegito had met Toppo in the future, he was then able to use instant transmission to travel straight to his location. These guys look like trouble. I must go get Mother. She'll deal with them. She'll deal true justice.
Oh, true
As
justice.
Toppo then swiftly escapes with his tail between his legs.
True justice, huh?
Belmod, though, who is both outraged and taken aback by this sudden stranger manhandling him, smacks Vegito's grip off himself before jumping back to gain some space. As he lands, he then yells out, "Who the hell are you? Do you have any idea the trouble you've just got yourself into?
Hey.
How dare you touch me with your filthy mortal hands?" While an unfazed and still smirking Vegito looks back,
Vegito,
still
like,
holding
don't
his
care.
hand up from where he had grabbed Belmod just moments earlier, and replies, "Mortal?
Oh.
You know, I might have had some trouble figuring out your identity. But with that kind of addressing, you sound awfully like a god.
Oh.
I know that ridiculous paint on your face was a dead giveaway, but you wouldn't happen to be Lord Belmod, God of Destruction of Universe 11, would you?"
Hey. He is shocked to see someone recognize him as God Belmod of Universe 11.
What? How does this punk know who I am? And that we're in the 11th universe? Only one man here should know anything about that. Leaving Belmod in a slight state of panic as he reveals at least one in this village would know
Which
this
is
kind of
Toppo's
information.
measure or what?
But done with the games and theatrics, Belmod then opts to remove his now pointless disguise, throwing his robe to his right and saying, "Alright,
Okay.
so you aren't as stupid as you look with that ridiculous
His
hair.
Okay.
So, who are you supposed to be then? A warrior from Gichin's village?
Gichin's village.
Or just one of his bus boys? Though, you do seem a little too skilled for that." But Vegito, now sporting a more serious and focused look, hunches his head forward as he responds quickly, "No, I'm a friend of Jiren.
Oh. He don't want to say that he is God
And I have
killer.
a question for you, clown, that I was hoping you'd be able to answer for me. I just wanted to know, exactly why are you planning on murdering that young boy's entire village and master before his eyes while leaving him alive?"
He's shocked.
What the?
How can
The
he
question,
knows?
of course, leaves Belmod shocked
Belmod
once
is
more,
shocked. How can
as he
he
thinks
knows?
instantly to himself, trying his
How
hardest
can
to
this
not
guy
outwardly
knows his
show it.
plan?
This can't be! Knowing the face of this universe's god of destruction is one thing.
And he knows
But
my
how
plan.
could he possibly know the ritual plan? Not even Margarita knows of what I'm doing right now. I knew there was something off about this guy. Why? Why does this freak speak like he knows me so well, though? But the clown god soon then changes his look to a fake smile,
Okay.
trying his best to win the mental warfare
Okay,
as he
now.
calmly
Oh,
replies,
do what he said.
I have no idea what you're talking about, mortal. What a strange fantasy for such a lesser being to come up with. I didn't even know your minds could create such stories.
Oh,
But regardless, I will not be questioned by a lowly mortal.
lowly.
Prepare to be erased for wasting my time.
Lowly, huh?
Maybe if you can survive this, I might have some answers.
Oh, maybe if you can survive this guy can survive your attack, Belmod. What will you do? You will hakai him, right?
Following this, continuing his confidence, Belmod then brings out 3 cards, each surrounded in Hakai energy, and much like her leads with her arrows, these are far more dangerous than they seem.
Yeah.
As Belmod lets out, pick a card, any card. One touch of these, and you disappear forever, young man. Let's hope for your sake, you're good at poker.
Oh.
As instantly, Belmod then tosses all
Do
3
you
cards at
think that
once,
can defeat
leaving
all
no
threat
angle to
Vegeta?
dodge whatsoever. Meanwhile, though, as come to be expected of Ultra
Of
Vegito,
course, Vegeta
he
don't
just
care.
stares down the attack without fear,
Vegito don't
just
care.
thinking in his head, I guess I can't blame this god for
For trying.
trying. Not like he would know.
Because he don't know how volatile this is. He don't know how powerful is this guy he is facing right now.
How futile this is. And so, Ultra Vegito remains completely still
He uses
as the Hakai
Ultra
cards
Instinct.
reach within touching distance,
He uses Ultra
despite
Instinct.
his earlier experience with such a technique. But at the last second, in a display of perfect mastery of Ultra Instinct within his Ultra form, Vegito, almost in slow motion and with the slightest of movements, dodges every single card with the smallest margins for error,
Yep. Ultra
ultimately
Instinct.
leading to a massive explosion on both sides of Ultra Vegito that blows wind and debris across the emotionless Vegito, swaying his bangs in all directions as he coldly lets out,
Okay.
guess I'm better at card games than I
Little
thought,
clown.
clown.
Hey.
And here I thought, the house always wins.
Oh ho.
What in the name of
He
Zeno?
is sharp.
Preposterous! No mortal from this planet should be able to
Move
move
like
like
that.
that! Leaving Belmod understandably gobsmacked,
sharp.
witnessing not only a destroyer's attack be dodged like child's play, but also through use of what seems a divine technique of the angels.
The Ultra Instinct. He's
Continuing
sharp.
his state of shock, Belmod begins uncontrollably stepping back slowly, until suddenly a lone stone on the ground appears right behind his heel unknowingly. Wait, what? Instantly causing the god to trip back and
Trip
fall,
back.
seemingly too scared to even regain himself until... At the last second, a hand we know all too well
Ultra
appears
Vegeta's
from
hand.
out of nowhere to grab Belmod by his destroyer garb collar,
Ultra
saying,
Vegito's head.
"Don't worry, I've got you, Ronald McDonald. You're not going anywhere." As soon as the scene zooms out, we
Because
see
Vegito
Ultra
needs to ask him
Vegito, now with
questions.
half his shirt ripped from the explosions around him, standing dominantly over Belmod, with noticeably his signature Godslayer blade extended outwards, as he stares into the eyes of Belmod and says, "Listen,
You need to
clown,
answer my question
I know
or
even
else
you're clever
you
enough
will
to
be
know
dead.
when you're utterly
Of course.
outclassed. Tell me the answers I desire, or die here and now.
Because Belmod should have known that Ultra Vegeta is much stronger than Belmod.
And trust me, there's no coming back from my idea of a death. You aren't the only one
who possesses the power of Hakai.
Possesses the power of Hakai.
Hey.
What? This mortal knows the abilities of the destroyers too!
Hey.
Leaving Belmod horrifically cornered, as he can't even call this stranger out on his bluff, given his earlier display of what was obviously Ultra Instinct, leading him to respond back, okay, relax. I'll tell you what you want to know, tough guy. Jeez, it's not like it's a secret anyway. Hardly more of a secret than knowing I'm the god of the 11th universe. Just let go of me, will you? And so Ultra Vegeta then obliges, sensing that Belmod is as powerless as any timeline's version of him.
Yeah.
As Belmod, now dejected, then calmly sits down with his legs folded before beginning. Listen, I don't know who you are, but you're right. I did come here to kill off Jiren's village and family. But you should know, it was for good reason.
Okay.
For the good of this entire universe. As Belmod then looks into the distance and continues. Whoever you are though, it does seem you are familiar with the destroyers. So I spare the intro to who we are.
Yeah, so Belmod will not tell what is a god of destruction, what is a supreme kai, because he assumed that Vegeta already know, and of course Vegeta knows.
But we destroyers, along with another set of gods in this universe, known as the Supreme Kais, maintain the mortal levels of our...
This is what I'm saying, it's about Zenos maintaining the mortal level. So that's why to increase the mortal level, he needs to kill him, and he needs to make Jiren powerful, and he will like say that, okay Jiren, you need to fight against this monster who destroy your village, and to increase the mortal level by pushing Jiren to his limit.
Our respective universes. The mortal level of a universe is affected by many variables. Sometimes that level is determined by the number of planets that exist, or the strength of its destroyer. But mainly, it is down to the overall life force and power levels of the beings that occupy it. Supreme Kais create life and watch over it for millennia. But only a destroyer can put the wheels of motion into play to create powerful life force.
Which is by destroying the life.
But a destroyer can only live so long. And not just any being can become one. A god of destruction must by default be one of the strongest, if not the strongest within one's universe. And must be able to compete with destroyers of other universes too. Not only to raise the mortal level, but to sometimes simply just survive. Destroyers can be pitted up against each other for the enjoyment of the Omni King.
Yeah, right. Okay, this is, I'm sorry, because it's for the Omni King.
The loser can often find their universe
That's happened in the Tournament of Power.
erased. But finding such candidates to become one is not easy. So we destroyers have a ritual that we use to create such candidates with overwhelming power. And just enough coldness in their hearts that they could take up the man.
Oh, so he crashed to make Jiren's heart cold-hearted and to make him into the next successor of the God of Destruction. So Beerus is also the same. I think Beerus has been destroyed with his home planet to make him become a God of Destruction.
To the God of Destruction and perform the heartless tasks that come with the job.
Which is to erase lives.
This sounds familiar. Like the Tournament of Power.
Yeah, the Tournament of Power.
Did Zeno hold similar competitions for the gods also? I remember Whis telling me of 6
universes just been casually erased by Zeno.
Universes that were already erased. It couldn't be! But as Vegeta momentarily ponders, Belmod recommences. And don't look at me like that. as this ritual is the same one all gods of destruction use. By killing off the family and friends of a candidate while young, we break all the bonds that get in their way. We leave them to grow strong on their own, often seeking power and vengeance to eventually kill whoever slayed their family. Or sometimes they grow strong just from the darkness that fills them afterwards. It's a proven tactic that has worked time and time again. And Jiren undoubtedly would have become unsurmountably powerful by the same mechanic.
That's the way. That's the way he will make Jiren to the destruction.
Gaming in space. Asterisk is actually 33,000 feet.
In fact, it is all foretold already by the
Oracle. The Oracle fish beforehand that he must kill the family to make Jiren strong.
Fish beforehand. Every destroyer has access to it and is given the prime choice for the next candidate using them. What? But on the instant that Vegito hears this, even the cold Saiyan is taken by surprise. As he continues, "You monsters! You damn gods really had sick enough minds to come up with something that stupid? Nonsense! I don't believe that for a second. There's no way every god does that. Tell me the truth."
Because he don't believe Beerus did that.
But Belmod, who doesn't even show a sign of being unfaithful in his story, just scratches his head with a smile, thinking back as he replies, "Huh? The truth? Look, kid, I'm not lying. This is the route all
Troy'll take. So, but Vegeta don't believe it because he don't think that Beerus did it.
destroyers take, whether you like it or not. It's been this way since the beginning of time. Even I went through the same exact thing. It wasn't my village though. It was my wife,
his
Harley.
Oh, it's Belmod with Harley Quinn, the clown.
Man, I miss that chick. But since you know me by name, I'm going to guess you know the others too.
Okay.
The rat god.
The rat god.
Kitela. You know that little annoying midget? He erased a young
he erased Genos.
warrior known as
Genos is really obligated against Kitela.
Ganos' entire species while he slept. And then took him in after promising
and to avenge them, which is Kitela.
him, he trained him to one day avenge them. He's actually who I was basing my
plan of. Oh, I know. Beerus do that also. He do that by what? He do that by ordering Frieza to crush Planet Vegeta. That is how Beerus do it.
plan off. Then there's Jin, that blockhead with too much power for his own good. Murdered the son of a prodigy known as Gaiba. Cold-blooded thing that honestly birthed a real monster. When the day comes that Gaiba takes up the mantle of Destroyer, I don't know if any of the universes will be safe. And then there's even the laziest of us gods, Beerus. That fool just sleeps and sleeps. Last I heard, he's going to get some lack.
Yeah, he asked Frieza to crush the Saiyans, to destroy the Saiyans.
Known as Frieza, to destroy the planet of a
powerful fighting race, which is the Saiyans.
Powerful fighting race, leaving behind one soul,
which is Vegeta, to make Vegeta strong and to make Vegeta become the next god of destruction.
Survivor, the Prince, who is said to have not only an exceptional power level, but also the darkness in his heart to make a fine destroyer.
Oh, now Vegeta knows it because there's a Vegeta, and so he knows.
Wait, what did you just?
Say clown, he knows
Say
that's
clown!
Beerus' plan all along.
But now, things have hit the fan with Belmod's last piece of information, as the once completely oblivious Vegito now realizes everything. As
He don't believe Belmod's story because he think that Beerus is good. Beerus has never erased a universe, but then he noticed that the man behind Frieza erasure and the man who destroyed his home planet and the man who destroyed his parents is Beerus.
he questions more,
Through Frieza.
Beerus was behind planet
Beerus was behind planet Vegeta's destruction.
Vegeta's destruction!
He just noticed.
No! No!
He just
It
know.
can't be! Instantly causing
He just
Vegeta to
know.
grab onto his skull with both hands as his brain begins to go through a million thoughts and his emotions reach a boiling point that will tip him over in an instant.
He just know it.
Vegeta! I was chosen from the very beginning to be the next
Yeah. I was chosen from the beginning to become the next destroyer.
destroyer!
Beerus.
My planet! My father!
Vegeta is cleansing inside.
Beerus is the one who got Frieza to do it? That can't be! Huh? But Belmod,
Yeah,
who has
is
no
shocked.
idea why the mystery man before him is acting so erratically, only responds in blissful ignorance. Vegeta? Come to think of it, that might be who he was on about. He said it so long ago. The Oracle Fish him told him well in advance. He's a kid though, so I don't know what you're saying about you being
Yeah,
chosen.
you being chosen.
You may be able to hakai as you say, but that doesn't make you a destroyer, kid. Belmod, still relaxed, thinking he's done nothing wrong, then closes his eyes and smiles, ignorantly persisting. He probably heard it wrong from the fish knowing that fool though. Those Saiyans in his universe are a bunch of tailed dumb apes. Nothing like the sort in Chomper's universe. If it were me, I would have got rid of them instantly long ago.
Just say it in a wrong
Regard.
fashion, Belmod.
No universe needs trash like that
Oh,
around.
Not
Not a single one of them would ever amount to anything,
You don't know that this is the monkey you're talking to.
much less a god.
Oh no, he is on the tipping boiling point and you crush this 2 Saiyan inside crumbly. Belmod.
Instantly causing
Bye-bye,
Vegeta to
Belmod.
grit his teeth in anger, looking at Belmod.
You don't know
His
this
veins
is the
beginning to
Saiyan.
bulge
You don't
as
know
he
that
struggles to
inside
control
of this guy
his
there's
inner
a
rage and
prince
need for
and the
violence.
strongest Saiyan
The
ever
planet
lived.
itself quaking from this inner battle within until
He's crushing Belmod.
Beerus and all the gods are the same.
Yeah, he's met with Beerus.
None of you can remain.
He's mad.
As Vegito's anger
Although Belmod in this universe is not completely wrong with what he tell about Vegito, but
inevitably then explodes viciously,
Belmod is
causing him
shocked.
to rush in at Belmod like a demon. And in a flash, the fused Saiyan grips Belmod's neck with both arms, immediately choking him as the god can barely say a word. Hey, cut it out! Stop! But soon, the real reason for grabbing Belmod's throat comes clear and quickly.
He
As
absorbs.
Vegito's left arm indiscriminately begins absorbing
He
every
absorbs
cent of energy from the
Belmod.
cloud. As Belmod, realizing squirms one last time. What? Stop! I told you the
I told you the
truth!
truth.
I told you everything!
Boom.
But just like in Vegito's timeline, Belmod once again
It's not about
doesn't
telling
get
the
the
truth, it's about
opportunity to
his
finish his
mission to
final
take their power
sentence
anyway
in the
down.
living world.
It's just the
As
same
his
either way.
eyes
Whether
go
you tell the
completely
truth or
blank,
lies, he will
now
kill you at the end.
energyless, dead, and never to bother the young Jiren in this timeline.
Okay.
And just like that, Vegito coldly drops the dead god straight on the floor without a thought. His head bowed in darkness as he remains deathly silent. It's unclear if his rage has subsided or if he is still battling with himself over what he had just found out.
He's mad.
But not even a few seconds later, the emotionally charged Saiyan breaks into tears once again. Tears of what seem like rage, as his teeth remain rubbing over each other, and even the red veins of his eyes begin to spread wildly.
Beerus. He's mad with Beerus. He's mad with Beerus.
But in the end, it all becomes clear, as with a roar that even the Grand Priest and Zeno would hear, Vegito roars at the top of his breath, screaming out the name of the god that ultimately betrayed him. The name of the god he spent 10 years regretting that he had killed, not knowing all along.
He regret killing Beerus, but now he actually wanna kill Beerus. Really, he wanna kill Beerus because Beerus is the one responsible for killing his parents, his family, and his loved ones.
That same god looked on his entire species as disposable.
So if we're talking back, like we could say like both Belmod and Beerus did the same thing. Belmod did it to Jiren to make him Jiren strong, and Beerus did it to Vegeta and to make him Vegeta and Goku now this strong.
What is that? What is this dark energy?
Okay.
As from some distance away, the sudden power-up is immediately sensed by Jiren's master, Gichin. Jiren, stand back and go inside. Something bad has arrived, young warrior. As Gichin then places his arm in front of the scared future Pride Trooper, as if implying he will now go face the monster known as Ultra Vegeta. But that was it for today's video, guys. And if you made it this far, leave me a hashtag beerus in the comments. Do exclusive theme, the snack that tastes authentic, their origin.
Okay. Guys, I'll stop it here for now. It's also because my battery is dropping out, but I think I'll cut it too because there's tons of more contents upcoming forward. But for now, oh my god, Arj is just getting crazy over his stories, over his crafts. The way it being patronized, the way the story draws out with the fact that Beerus is the one who orders Frieza and everything, and for me that's yeah, of course we as the viewers, not of Arj, but even before the anime we know that Beerus is the one responsible, but both Vegeta and Goku don't realize this. But with the fact that this draws out, it is really cool to even think that like he is regretting to crush Beerus because Beerus loves the food and everything, but Beerus is the one responsible to Hakai, and not Hakai, but to order Frieza to kill the Saiyans. So this will be a battle of conviction, a battle of confusion of Vegeta. In words, in seeing how Beerus is a good god or Beerus is a bad god, but I think Beerus is bad one, same as Belmod does to Jiren. So I think this is gonna be it for my reaction. Thank you so much for watching. We will be meeting in the next set of series of Arj reaction series. Until we meet again, bye.